Whether you're interested because you're a fan of Dragon Ball or because you like card games, the Dragon Ball Super card game is a great game that will get you hooked in no time. The game is called Dragon Ball Super, but contains characters and imagery from the original Dragon Ball, Z, Super, GT, the movies, and even from video games like Xenoverse and Super Dragon Ball Heroes. The card game itself is a fast-paced, action and defense focused fight simulation, and just like in the show, you power up to astronomical numbers. Your first port of call to learn the game should be the tablet app. It does a good job of teaching the basics, though it can be a little bit disorientating, the way it doesn't display the cards the same way as real life. So if you find that to be the case and think that more accurate visual learning will benefit you, I'm here to help. My name is Joe, and I've been playing DBS since Set 5. I got into the game on a whim because I was always busy on the nights that my local card shop ran Yu-Gi-Oh! And I fell hard for the game and haven't looked back since, and I think you will too. This how-to series of videos will consist of bite-sized videos to make the rules and intricacies of the game simple and easy to absorb. For this first video, I'll just introduce the types of cards that the game is played with. At the point I'm recording this, Set 10 has just been released, and there are 4 types of cards in Dragon Ball Super. First, and most importantly, is the leader card. The leader is your most important card. It is always out on the field, and defeating it is how the game is won, more or less. It is a unique card in that it is double-sided. It starts the game on its front, and when the conditions are met, you can flip it over to its back where it will be more powerful. Here we have a leader card on its front side. We have here all the effects and abilities. Here we have the conditions for flipping it to its back. In this case, his life needs to be at 4 or less, and then you can restand up to 2 of his energy to awaken. Here we have his power, and here we have his character name and special trait. Now on his backside, his effects and abilities are a little different. Generally they'll be better, and in this case that's true. His power is stronger now as well. Battle cards are, depending on your strategy, what the bulk of your deck will consist of. Their main and obvious use is to battle with, but they have many other uses. All cards in your deck can be used as energy. That's something we'll talk about later. Battle cards can be used to attack with, or you might just play them for one of their abilities, such as the ability to draw a card, or to defend with if they have the blocker ability. They can also be used to combo with. Take a look at this card. We have here his card name, and over here his character name and special trait. It's important to note that the card name and the character name are 2 different things. We have his energy cost here. He costs 4, and he has a specified cost of 1 yellow. That means to play him, it will cost 4 energy, and at least 1 of the energy has to be yellow. However, looking down here, he has the Union Fusion ability. So at the cost of 2 energy and 1 yellow Son Goten GT and 1 yellow Trunks GT from your hand, you can play him this way. The Goten and Trunks will go to the drop as they're fused together to make Gotenks. Here he has an Activate Main ability which can be used in your main phase. So if you played Yu-Gi-Oh before, just quickly forget that you know what a main phase is. In DBS, your main phase is basically at any point in your own turn that you aren't engaged in battle. Over here we have his power, and up here we have his combo cost and his combo power. In this card's case, it costs no energy to use him in a combo, and it will give a combo power of 5,000. We'll talk about combos in more detail later, but for now I'll just mention that there are some cards that have 10,000 combo power but cost 1 energy to use in a combo. Third, we have extra cards. The most obvious example of a commonly used extra card are counter attack cards. Here we have Flying Nimbus, a rather simple counter attack. It costs 1 energy to use, it negates the attack, and then has the ability if you choose to discard 1 yellow card, your opponent can only attack once more with battle cards this turn. But take this card, for example. Vegeta's Final Flash is completely different from Nimbus. It's Activate Battle. Activate Battle means you have to use it in your combo step, in any battle, attacking or defending. It has a primary ability, and it also has this auto that will work if you meet the condition. So in this case, all of your energy needs to be yellow. And finally, we have the newest card to the game, Unison. On first glance, they look like battle cards, but they are slightly different. First thing you will notice is they have an X instead of a number for their energy cost. What that means is that you can pay however much energy you like to play it, provided you at least pay the specified cost. In this Broly's case, 2 yellow. Second thing you may notice are these numbers here. They are marker abilities. When you play a Unison, they come into play with a number of markers. That number will depend on how much energy you paid. So say you paid the minimum for Broly, which was 2, he'll have 2 markers. I recommend using a 12-sided die to represent the markers. We'll talk in depth about unisons later, as there's a bit to go over, but last thing to point out about how they're different from battle cards, here you see they have no character name and no special trait. That'll do it for this video. In part 2, I'll go over the basics of how the game is played, and in the videos following I'll go more into depth on the different cards, rules of the game, the different coloured cards, and more. So hit subscribe to keep updated when those videos go up.